What's going on, guys? My name is Zach7365, and you can just call me Zach. I'm coming back at you with a updated Speedroid deck profile. We actually went undefeated with this list at my OTS's recent Back to Duel event. That's where we got the mat from in this sweet field center. Very nice. I'm going to go over the deck list real quick. There is a deck profile that's going to go up on their YouTube channel as well. I'll link it down below whenever it's posted in the comments. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this deck profile. Alright, starting it off, we have our 1 copy of Terratop, because sadly he's at 1. 3 copies of Marble Machine, just Terratop at a level 2 and a Pendulum. Searches the deck. We have 3 copies of Ultra Hound. Really liked this the other night. It was really good. Not having to burn through the attack or the car turbo like you do with the Marble Machine was really nice. Then eventually being able to get into the rubber band shooter and the Terratop plays. Very nice. We are playing 3 copies of Takatonborg, because Takatonborg is probably the best extender in the deck just because it can tutor itself out for any tuner we need. Car Turbo is also a great extender, and we can also get the attack boost, just really good. 2 copies of Duke. I still feel comfortable with 2 Dukes, don't feel the need to play the 3rd. Same reason as before, you don't want to play this at 1, just because you do want to. So there are times where you want to have this in deck to bring it off attack if we really need to. And also now with cards that discard, like Win, Wheel, and then Scratch whenever that comes out in like a week or 2 or whatever it is. Seeing it in the opening hand is not going to be bad, so it could be bumped up to 3. Chose to play the 1 dice. Didn't miss the second one. I did play 3 copies of Wheel in this deck, and I never saw the Wheel more than like the opening hand, so we were all good there. Did go for the 1 Piper. This card was crazy, overperformed the whole tournament. I think I was always excavating at least 4 to 5 cards off of it, so it was really good. Graveyard Effect never came up, but 1 double yo-yo because you have to have it for the combo. And also, it's just a good target to add back off of Speed Recovery. And then the last Speedroid name for monsters is the Rubber Band Plane. Arguably, you could cut that for the Hasty Horse. I feel like that'd be better in some cases, but where this is just a name, you can get it off of off a wheel if you roll a 6 or something, and you still get the dice or whatever. But yeah. Then we have our just generic cards. We have 3 copies of Win the Wind Channeler. Basically Synapse mining for the deck. Pitch it another wind monster from your hand. You get to search the deck for basically everything because they're all 1500 or less defense. Really good. And then onto the hand traps that are monsters. We played 3 Ash because it's generic, it hits everything, and that's really about it. Also, just having the different attribute for the Shin was nice. Going on to our spells, we have 3 copies of Speed Recovery. Just a phenomenal card, being able to special summon something back, and then just the add back on the following turn to add back the double yo-yo or whatever we need. Really good. 3 Speedroid Wheel. I saw it, I resolved it twice the whole tournament out of 8 games that I played, because we went undefeated in 4 rounds. Overall, really good. Probably will cut this to 2 once we get Scratch, but I'm not too sure on ratios for that yet, because there's a lot of back and forth between what's better would be the Scratch or just running the Winds. But yeah. Then we played 3 copies of Chalice. Chalice was probably the best option for me because I don't have droplets. Dark Ruler no more. I mean, we're an OTK deck. Our OTK potential is just crazy with this deck. And I felt like playing the Dark Ruler no more does take care of problematic boards that Chalice can't. But I mean, we're going to have droplets in probably about a week or 2 or whenever Brothers of Legend drops. So I think it'll be alright. Yeah, good card. Really came up the evening. It was just performed well, taking care of Appaloozas and Windows and whatnot. Call by the Grave. Just to take care of the hand traps. It's also just an easy card we can side out. Powerful one of, you gotta play it. On the traps, 2 copies of Duplicate. Duplicate's just, I think 2 is a good number for it. If you play it at 1, you kind of... So same situation with Duke, where you want at least one of these in deck, so your Hound isn't dead. That way, Hound can send this, change its level to 2, and then make the Rubber Band Shooter, make the Cork Shooter, whichever one you need. And then last trap card is the playset of Infinite Impermanence. Imperm just being the best hand trap in the meta, because of triple tactics and everything else. So yeah. Going on to the extra deck, we're playing the one Baron de Floor, the one Shin Shin, the one Kite Drake, the one Crystal Wing, only one unfortunately, the one Fast Dragon, the one Wind Pegasus, the one Raptite, the one Charge Warrior, the one Chambara, the one Hagoida, and then we are playing 2 copies of the Cork Blaster, and then 2 copies of Rubber Band Shooter, and the Man of the Night, Auroradon. I made Auroradon like literally every match, and then resolved the Piper to just mill like 4 or 5 cards, and then add my side deck. Anything that I side decked in pretty much showed up in those 4 to 5 cards, and yeah, it's just really good. I really recommend playing this because you can also tribute the tokens off, and then add back the duplicate for an interruption as well. That way you can end on something more than just like a Baron and like a Shen Shen or anything, but really, I mean, most of the time that really just did it. Also having the ability to pop a card with this, so tribute a token, pop a card, and then Baron, pop a card, I mean, it was just nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the side deck. Remember, side deck is always built to combat your local meta and what you expect to be playing against, so this worked for me. 3 Nib, 3 Droll. I went back and forth between Droll and Dimensional Barrier. I kind of want to test it out, but yeah, that's where I'm sitting on that. Then we got the 3 Cosmic Cyclones for taking care of the Scythe, Mystic Mine, Imperial Order, anything like that that's going to hurt us. Then we have the 15th card would have been the Feather Duster. I just didn't know what else to put in. Then we got some more blowout cards with evenly matched. Honestly, really did a number on the PK players, and nice. And then we did the Imperial Order and the Red Reboot to round it off. Alrighty, and going into a little tournament report. Round 1 we played against a Chinzo deck of everything that we could have played against. I liked the concept of what he was doing, and just it didn't play out completely. We had answers for everything he was trying to do. The Ash Blossoms, trying to summon one from deck, everything else like that. We 2-0'd him. And then round 2 we played against a Dark Lord Despia build. He bricked really hard. Like, I think game 1 he went first, made nothing. I think he set 2 cards, and he had a Dark Ruler in hand because he's maining the Dark Rulers. And then game 2 he bricked on 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, going first. So yeah, I don't know what he was doing exactly, but like, yeah, it was a free 2-0. Round 3 we played up against PK Fire with the or Phantom Knight, Burning Abyss with the Destiny Destroyer and Phoenix dude. And honestly, this is where like the Pegasus rules. If you don't know what the Pegasus rules are, because this is what we did for the back to duel shit. So like every like 5 to 12 minutes, they would roll a die to determine like how much time it was. But they'd roll a die and then pick a random activation that would go on during the turn, or like until the end of this set number of turns or time. Like destroy all cards on the field currently, or destroy all spell and trap cards. People can play trap cards directly from their hand without setting them, etc., etc. Like stuff like that. There's also like exchange and like everything else like that. We went first game 1 against the Phantom Knight player, and we did our combo. We had a Shen Shen, a Baron, and I think a set Impermanent Ash in hand. No, not an Ash. We had like a dead Ultra Hound in our hand. Yeah, we had like an Ultra Hound in our hand, and then they called for one of the effects to go in, which was the effect of exchange. So we traded our Ultra Hound for a copy of Dark Ruler No More out of their hand. And then with that, I mean, they really just had like Fusion Destiny and then set our Ultra Hound and then knocked over the Shen Shen or something like that and popped the, yeah. I mean, it wasn't too much for us to deal with. Like, all they really could do was make the Destiny Hero Fusion and then set our Ultra Hound, and then they popped some stuff, and that's really about it. And then game 2, they went first, and then mid-combo, right before they could activate their Rusty effect, because they hadn't used their Torn Scales Engrave or their Silent Boots yet to activate any effects with that, or bring them back. Another effect got activated that banish all cards in each player's graveyard face down. So yeah, so he used the Rusty effects in a cloak, banished the cloak to add the Shade Burgundy to his hand. He set the Shade Burgundy, took the Cherubini and the Shade Burgundy that he linked off into a Link Spider. Took 2 effect monsters, make Verte, and then made the Destiny Hero card. So we were looking at a Destiny Hero, Destroyer Phoenix, and then a Fogblade set, Rusty, and I think he did actually the Scythe Lock as well. So I mean, it was honestly really devastating for us. We chop decked into a copy of Evenly Matched, so it was just, yeah. He popped the scythe on us. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Battle phase, into battle phase, evenly matched, and then we just kind of walled up from there. And then we also had like the Ultra Hound engrave for the follow up to where we could do that to bring out another cork shooter. And then during his turn, he cleared our field basically. And then our next turn came around. We went through a bunch of plays. We made 2 rubber band shooters. The first one got impermed without us activating any effects. So we made the second one, got the ad for the Terror Top. And then we went straight into the Aurora Dawn, made the tokens, and then he nibbed us. And then while we were sitting here debating whether or not the Ultra Hound was going to be the right move to put a body on board just to wall up again, they called another ruling. And then it was the effect of Dark Hole and just nuked the monsters. So we still hadn't used our tack for the turn, so we just special summoned the Terror Top, add the tack effect, make the red eye die, and everything else like that. And we had the game handed to us, honestly. It would have been a really good back and forth, I feel like, but I think PK would have taken it in the end. And then round 4, there's a bit of confusion with the matching procedure, and I didn't get to play the other person who was undefeated, mainly due to like just how the matching software works with Konami's and the official tournament stores, because in round 2, the other 2 people who made it to like the top 4 where they played round 2, so they couldn't play each other again because of the software. So I ended up playing against the dinosaur player who was 2-1 at the time, and he bricked game 1. We took it pretty easily. Game 2, he bricked again. He couldn't get over a Shen. He kaiju'd the Baron instead of the Shen, which is unfortunate. And then he tried to make his ultimate conductor, but the materials were just already banished because of the Shen and them leaving the field. So it was a pretty uneventful last game, but I mean, it was, yeah. Overall, the deck performs phenomenal. Like, I love this build. Like, this build, especially with like the Aurora Dawn and the Piper and everything else like that. Like, even being able to make the cork shooter and then just adding a copy of like duplicate to your hand is really nice. And then if you use the Hound, you can always just add back the duplicate from the graveyard with the Aurora Dawn to get an extra interruption. And that's just a really cool thing. Like, I've been watching a lot of Aerosol TCG's replays that he posts in the Speedroid Discord. Like, shout outs to him. Like, just watching his replays and his deck profiles and everything else like that, I mean, it's really kind of helped me like understand like a different way to play Speedroids, because it's not the same as it used to be back before the support, where it was just going second was the best option, or double crystalling was your best option. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would, could you go check out and like the other video posted on the Whirlwind Games YouTube channel? It'd mean a lot to me just to help those guys out, because that is my local card shop, and they're just great people. And I'd love to see them continue growing as a channel and just everything else. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Until next time, peace out.